Let's lock in. A few days ago, I posted a video on how if I was Ryan Garcia or Teofimo Lopez, I would hire independent anti-doping agency to test all my samples and work in conjunction with WADA for all my fights. Since then, Teofimo Lopez has tweeted that he's looking to bring WADA or USADA back into boxing and that he's looking to provide his samples to them. And Ryan Garcia at the Ring Magazine Awards, he stated that um, he tested clean up until the day before and the day of the fight, and he found it suspicious and that he doesn't trust VADA. And this was him speaking about this whole VADA 360 anti-doping and rolling VADA. He's suspicious about VADA mainly because of their ties to Victor Conte, who is the founder of Snack, who's also the founder of Balco, the greatest drug doping scam in the history of professional sports. But now he's working with Devin Haney, and he also helped legitimize VADA. He also worked with VADA. He knows VADA, what they test for. He knows how they test. He knows what they're doing. And I'm going to show you how all this information can actually backfire on a person. But Victor Conte is getting a little too slick, and he's doing a little bit too much. And it wouldn't surprise me if he goes out and he gets busted again. Now, with all these other athletes like Teofimo Lopez and Ryan Garcia saying they don't trust VADA and they're looking to bring WADA back. So, VADA starts with a V, WADA starts with W, just because, it can sound a bit similar. They're looking to bring WADA back into the fold. Victor Conte felt the need to try to bash WADA as a legitimate option as an anti-doping agency for Teofimo Lopez and for Ryan Garcia. We're going to take a look at what he said now, and we'll discuss it. As you can see here, Victor Conte wrote this long behind tweet for no reason at all. And then he said, what at Ryan Garcia knows about anti-doping in boxing is about as much as I know about skydiving, and I am afraid of heights. The only entity using the VADA protocols is VADA. VADA tests for all prohibited substances at all times. Other entities do not. Other use a WADA code protocol, which is in and out of competition testing. Out of competition testing are training camp testing does not include 82 prohibited substances, including stimulants and narcotics. Stimulants have been proven to enhance performance and aid in rapid weight loss, and they are also dangerous drugs with serious side effects. WADA code protocols have huge loopholes in their testing procedures. Does Ryan possibly like the fact that 82 prohibited substances are not tested for by entities that follow WADA code? Ryan did no testing for 10 months previous to an 8-week period with VADA before his fight with @Real Devin Haney. Is the real reason Ryan does not like VADA perhaps because he got caught by an entity that uses superior testing protocols? If I recall correctly, when USADA was doing tests for boxing, they basically did 1,500 tests and had only one positive result. Go figure. All right, look. Here's the bottom line. You see how he's alleging and saying that they have 82 substances that they don't test for and that he knows what VADA tests for? He also knows what VADA doesn't test for. See, he knows that WADA doesn't test for these 82 substances, and he knows this. He knows what WADA's testing for, and what they're not testing for. He told you about USADA. What he didn't tell you is what does VADA not test for, because he would know. He would know what VADA doesn't test for. He would know all the loopholes to exploit. Now you see. Right here, he says water code protocols have huge loopholes in all cap. The question is, does VADA have any loopholes? And if they do, who would know how to exploit them better than Victor Conte? That's the problem. He says he's for a clean sport, right? He says he's for a clean sport. Take a look at this. This man still has founder of Balco Laboratories in his profile. The biggest cheating doping scandal in the history of professional sports, he still has it with pride. He's the founder of Balco Laboratories and the CEO of Snack System Inc. This man admittedly is taking PEDs himself and supplied it to other athletes who have since been disgraced. Ask Marion Jones what her life has been like since getting involved with Victor Conte. Look at this. So my thing is, you want to talk about the loopholes in WADA, and you want to disrespect USADA. Let's talk about the loopholes that WADA has and who would know how to exploit those loopholes. Just as much as you know what WADA is not testing for, you know what WADA is not testing for. Just like everyone who would quote unquote know what WADA is not testing for can use that to exploit their loopholes. Someone like you who knows what WADA is not testing for can use you to exploit all of WADA's loopholes. And that's the reason why fighters need to submit their samples to another anti-doping agency. See, because now what he's trying to do is discredit these other anti-doping agencies when these fighters test clean, because they're gonna give their samples to WADA and to WADA, and WADA's gonna say they were clean, and he's gonna argue you didn't test for these stimulants, you didn't test for these supplements, you didn't test for these narcotics. That's what he's gonna argue. And he's trying to lay that foundation. But the real thing is Victor Conte's fighters shouldn't be tested by WADA. And if it's so easy to exploit WADA, well, then go ahead and have at it then, Mr. Conte. Go exploit them. Ryan's willing to take the risk. He said, so is Teofimo Lopez. But if I'm them, I'm hiring WADA. And I'm telling WADA, I want you to test this man for everything under the sun. Test Devin for everything. So here's the thing. Devin wants to argue that WADA is the most stringent drug testing out there. Fine, let him. Don't deny giving your sample to WADA. But in you submitting a sample to WADA, Devin also has to submit a sample to your drug doping agency, which is going to be WADA. So now you're both submitting samples to WADA and WADA. And let's see if Devin doesn't pop dirty with WADA, because they're going to be testing him. He's going to be giving it to an anti-doping agency where Victor Conte isn't going to have the playbook. He's talking like he has a playbook. He's talking like he knows how to exploit loopholes. Balco was all about Victor Conte exploiting loopholes and drug testing. He knew what those agencies were testing for. He knew where the weaknesses were in their tests, and he exploited it. There's a documentary on Netflix about Victor Conte and what he did and how he ruined sports. There's a documentary on Netflix. Go watch it. He has founder of Balco in his profile. This scam artist who ruined sports, who ruined professional sports, ruined the major league playbook for just straight ruin these records, these sacred records in Major League Baseball, all ruined by his juiced up athletes. Changed the game forever. This guy is proud of it. It says founder of Balco. It should say proud founder. It just says founder. It should say proud founder of Balco. He wants you to know he's the founder of this cheating agency that ruins sports. Do you think this man has any integrity? He's the type of dude that gets a thrill off of having dirty athletes and making you think they're clean. He gets a thrill off of feeling like he's beating the system. The more everyone praises VAR, all that, like, come on, man, stop it. Nobody trusts Victor Conte. That's what he's missing, and that's what the Haneys are missing. The Haneys have become like that friend who can't pick up on the recent trends, who always understands things when they're a step behind. You know, they're using slang a little bit behind. Like this is what's happening with them. They can't see. The world can see what Victor Conte is. And the reason why Ryan Garcia hasn't been destroyed by these alleged allegations of Osterine is because no one trusts Victor Conte, the biggest doping cheat in the history of professional sports, and no one trusts WADA to bust him. Oh, when USADA was doing it, they only caught 5 people out of 1,500. Okay. But people grow, people learn, people do better. The thing is, WADA, you're only busting people, certain people. And it just so happens that those people go against the interests of Victor Conte. I don't know. But when the integrity's gone, so should the company. Like, nobody trusts WADA. You have 2 athletes. One's a current champion in the division. Doesn't trust WADA. Another is a superstar. Doesn't trust WADA. You have several athletes who question WADA and what they're doing. You've had fighters question the snack program and what's going on with snack over there. And I know some of your favorite fighters are involved with snack and all that. I'm not talking about your favorite fighters. Although, if you can just hop off for a second and acknowledge that Victor Conte is the mastermind behind the biggest doping scandal in the history of sports, that he still has in his profile as in proud of being the founder of Balco. He also just told you he's the CEO of Snack. Go watch the documentary. He has no remorse for what he's done. And criminals, some criminals are likely to repeat. And it just seems like if you're going to keep your old crime close to the vest, maybe you're out trying to commit some new crimes. My point is Victor Conte has no credibility. And Victor Conte tweeting in support of you actually hurts your credibility. And everyone can see through it. You look through the comment section for his tweet, everyone's cooking him. No one's buying it. So you look crazy when you're like, oh, everybody needs to enroll in WADA, 365 testing program. Nobody sees that as an accomplishment for Devin. Everyone sees it as propaganda. Everyone sees it as an attempt to push a narrative. And Victor Conte's the reason why. Any credibility that WADA had is gone. People are questioning WADA. And I think these fighters really need to get these other anti-doping agencies involved. He's accusing WADA now publicly of not testing for 82 substances. This is time for WADA to come back at him and everyone and say, fighters, you want someone who can't be controlled by the biggest doping cheetah on planet Earth? Come sign up with WADA testing. Anyways, let me know what you think in the comment section. Like, share, subscribe. If you can't catch all these videos, you can listen to it on the podcast, available on all major streaming services. I'm out. Peace.